So beautiful people, listen. Sean Strickland just shocked the world, became the undisputed UFC middleweight champion of the world, became the first man to ever beat Khamzat Chimaev. Listen. But did he rightfully win? I don't know. You gotta give him all the respect in the world. What an absolute dog, what an unbelievable fighter Sean Strickland is. But I don't know, I thought that Chimaev won the fight clearly. He clearly won the first round, fourth round, and fifth round, and you can even make the case that he won the third. The third wasn't, a conclusive round for Sean Strickland. The only clear and dominant round that Sean won was the second. I don't know, maybe it's because I'm biased towards Khamzat Chimaev, but I also love Sean Strickland, deep down, Sean Strickland is a good guy, but he said, so many foul things about Muslims leading up to this fight. And listen, you gotta give the man respect. He apologized after the fight. He was like, listen, to all my Muslim people, to all my Muslim fans, to all my Christian fans, to all the Americans, I apologize, I went too far. I love everybody, I respect everybody. And this is the mindset of a mixed martial artist. Rarely do you ever see a mixed martial artist that's hateful towards a religion or towards, a race. But I'm not gonna lie, a part of me was like, what, I hope that Chimaev destroys this man, This man is hateful, he's spreading nothing but negativity, and he's trying to divide us. You and me, us, beautiful people around the world. Whether you're a Muslim, whether you're a Christian, Arab, American, Russian, Chechen, Dagestani, whatever you are, and whoever you are, we should all unite to stand for what's right. You believe in this, we believe in that. Listen, we gotta have mutual respect. We gotta uplift each other, not spread hate and animosity and just venom towards each other. And that's how division is created, So I really, really wanted Chimaev to destroy Sean Strickland. But after what the man said in this post-fight, all the love in the world goes to Sean Strickland. But I'm going to be honest here. I thought that Chimaev won the fight. That's the bottom line. I thought that he won the first, fourth, and fifth. Give Strickland the second and third. But Chimaev's, and listen, what did I say in my pre-fight breakdown? I said that Chimaev will strike with this man. Chimaev, he's a smart guy. Sean Strickland, the reason why he stood with him is because two things. First, because of Strickland's takedown defense and his ability to get up. But secondly, is because he doesn't really have knockout power. So listen, it's a fight. Anything can happen. Anybody can go down. But the threat level isn't as high as when you fight someone like Jikis. Jikis got more power than Strickland. So Chimaev didn't want to risk it. But in this fight, I said that Chimaev will stand with him more than ever. He will stand in this fight more than ever. And he did. But I don't know, that second round was crazy. It's like, what in the world are you doing, Khamzat? It's like the man pulled guard, not once, no, I believe 3 times. I don't know, he was, like DC said in the commentary, DC or Anik, they said that he had a adrenaline dump early on, which he probably did. But I don't know, even in the striking, both men were landing their jabs at will. But one thing that surprised me is that Chimaev didn't really throw that southpaw right jab. Got so much power, demand so much respect from the opponents. But Chimaev, decided to fight in the orthodox stance for 90% of the fight. But in the first round, he was, in the southpaw position, in the southpaw stance. But it was such a weird fight. It was an unbelievable fight. Let's not get it wrong here. Shout out to both men. Chimaev will be back better than ever. And I believe the weight cut killed him. I believe the weight cut is ruining both men. I believe that both men should move up to light heavyweight. Not because they're massive guys, but because their body type, their body type is still, filling out, even in their 30s. Both men were welterweights, both men are currently middleweights, and I believe that both men will finish their careers as light heavyweights. Now, what did Chimaev do well in this fight? The jab. The jab was unbelievable from both men. But one thing that Chimaev didn't really do well is that every time he landed, every time he threw from his right side, meaning the overhand right, he wasn't pulling back, meaning that he wasn't expecting anything to come back. And that's when Strickland chimed. Every time Chimaev was throwing from his backside, from his right hand, Chimaev was throwing and Strickland was instantly throwing back. But Chimaev didn't do that. Strickland did that very well. And I believe that was, a massive factor of why the judges gave it to him. Is because every time you see Chimaev throwing a shot, you see Strickland coming back. But Strickland and Chimaev, none of them really landed any fight-changing shots. So it was a close fight, but I thought that Chimaev won the fight. That's the bottom line. I'm not going to say that it was a robbery, but was it a robbery really? Was it a robbery? I believe in this. Either you win the fight or you don't. And I believe that Chimaev won the fight. So you can definitely say that it was a robbery, but the reason why I'm not going to say that Chimaev was robbed is because Sean Strickland showed so much heart. He showed so much grit, desire, ambition in the fight. And, I don't know, the moment this fight got announced, I was like, let's go Khamzat. But deep down, in the back of my head, I was like, this is such a tough fight. We've been hearing the stories about Strickland in the gyms for years, about the man's takedown defense, especially after he moved up to middleweight. We saw Kamaru dominate him in the wrestling, but Strickland isn't really, he wasn't really that strong as a welterweight. But one thing you also gotta take in consideration is the fact that Strickland got 38 fights, while Chimaev got 14, 15 fights. So the experience difference is absolutely astonishing. And not just that, Chimaev just started training, 9 years ago. He started training MMA. He started training MMA after Jose Aldo fought Conor. A few months later. So you're talking about 9, 10 years in the game only. And the pressure, every time Khamzat Chimaev fights, you can feel the pressure of the world on his shoulders. The pressure from my beloved UAE. The pressure from Chechnya, from Russia, from all the Muslim countries and communities around the world. From his family. You can feel from the UFC also. Chimaev, listen, much respect to the man. He's been dealing with so much pressure ever since he entered the UFC. When you look at his fights before the UFC, before he actually got sick, even in the UFC, he was fighting freely. When he fought twice in 1 week, once as a welterweight, once as a middleweight. He didn't have a single care in the world, but the moment his name got big, and the moment the money got in, you can tell, Chimaev is carrying so much pressure. While on the other hand, Strickland, nearly 5-1 underdog, nothing to lose, everything to gain. He fought like he had nothing to lose and everything to gain. While Chimaev, that second round, when he started pulling guard, that showed you that the pressure started to finally get to him. Even when he entered, dapping up Sean, fist bumping Sean, smiling, taking deep breaths, you can tell that the man was trying to deflect the pressure from his shoulders. And I believe that it's good that he lost now. He lost that undefeated record. He lost that massive pressure of being an undefeated, superstar. Now he can fight more freely, and now he's moving up to the light heavyweight division. Light heavyweight division is wide open for him now. Barely any striker, barely any wrestler in the light heavyweight division. They're all slow strikers, except the champion Carlos Ulberg, who's a quick, sharp counter striker. But who tested the man's wrestling? Nobody. Nobody tested the man's wrestling. On his rise, on the come up, they've been giving him nothing but strikers. In his championship fight, they gave him a striker. I believe that Chimaev destroys Carlos Ulberg. Much respect to Ulberg. But there's levels to this game. You know, there's levels and layers when you talk about the levels. And I just believe that Khamzat is the best, still the best middleweight on the planet. He beat Sean in my opinion. But I definitely think that he's the best light heavyweight on the planet. And we saw we heard the stories, submitting Yuri Prohaska and sparring countless times. Yuri was just the champion. He just fought for a belt 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. So, you know, everything happens for a reason. I was upset that Chimaev lost, but you can always find the positives. He can fight more freely now. New weight division, fresh start, no more undefeated record. Pressure will be less. And still, sky is the limit for Chechny's boars, Khamzat Chimaev, and massive respect to Sean Strickland. Listen, I became a fan again after his post-fight interview. Much respect to both men. Would love to see the fight again, but Strickland will remain for now in the middleweight division while Chimaev will move up. Let's see what happens, but what a crazy game. What a crazy game, and that is exactly why this is the greatest sport on earth.